Hello and welcome back to another character creation video. My name's Lumin and today we're having a look at Necesse. Build, quest, and conquer across an infinite, procedurally generated world. Play alone or with friends as you establish a settlement and explore deep dungeons, fight monsters and bosses, mine rare ores, craft materials and equipment, recruit specialists for your colony, and more. The game also recently received a massive graphical overhaul. It's looking better than ever now, which makes this the perfect time to jump in. Yeah, so let's do it. If you'd like to do a deep dive to discover all there is to discover about Necesse, you can find some links below, and as always, there will be timestamps. Right. As we jump in, I'm going to say there's no male or female customization. You're just making a dude here, and that's that. You decide how they look, you decide what they are, and so on and so forth. The first option we have is to randomize, which we're actually going to do at the end, because that makes sense. After that, skin tone. Our skin color choices are great and varied. We have the regular skin tones in here, where you have the lighter ones, the darker ones, the slightly more tanned ones, and then it takes a turn, an interesting turn. You have a whole lot of different skin colors here, just like random colors that they threw in. It makes our character look sort of like a whole lot of different things that I would say are not quite human, but it's awesome because, like, why not? You know, why not? It's a fantasy world. There's magic. There are monsters. We can be whatever we want to be. He says while picking the most human-looking skin tone that's available. Okay, listen. I'm just trying to show you the options, okay? And there's a lot of them. So there you go. Those are the skin tones. Now we can move on to the eyes, and you can select the eye type. I'm quite impressed with the amount that they've put in here, and I'm also quite impressed with how well they've managed to convey the different emotional states with these eyes. I mean, geez, man. You can have your character look devious and angry and concerned and like a little sad, a little curious. There are just a lot of different options. They do seem to have a whole lot of eye types that look angry and a whole lot that look downtrodden or sad. It's like, that's the two extremes that they have. There are less neutral ones, which is a bit of a pity. But yeah, there's still a reasonable number. We're going to take the most neutral one we can find, which is this. And we're going to look at the eye colors. Obviously, the eye color can look better or worse based on what skin tone you have. Keep that in mind. So make those choices accordingly. You can even choose some slightly bigger ones here, which I actually kind of dig. You know, it sort of makes you think, right? Because like they've added a bunch of skin tones and sort of body quote unquote types that are more monstrous in nature. So why not add eyes that are the same? I like that. Yeah, that's kind of sick. I appreciate the addition of these. I mean, again, for the purposes of this video, let me just take those. But I personally would like to... I'd probably choose one of these. It just looks cooler, you know? Just looks cooler. Then, hairstyles. There's a good selection. A good selection of hairstyles here. We have a reasonable number of longer styles, shorter styles. For the hairstyles, I actually have to start turning the character around a little bit so you can see what they look like. Because some of them actually go around the back and down the back, and it's kind of cool. Like, this one's a mohawk and a mullet in one. Like, that's pretty out there, man. It's pretty fantastic. But the hairstyles, I like. Yeah, I'm a fan. I think that they've done well with them. It's always one of the most interesting points in these pixel art games is, can they make the hair look alright? Now, I mean, I feel like the color that I've got here is really not amazing for showing it off. So I'll take a darker one over here just so you can sort of see, because again, like, there are some details on here that sort of get lost a little bit if you have that light color, and you know, your shading looks a little you know, so I think this is better for showing it off, but I kind of like what they've done. And I mean, they've got everything in there. They've got the shading, they've got some clear and defined styles, and they've definitely got the variety, you know? So it's kind of impressive. And usually one thing that I check for is like, hey, do they have enough long styles versus short styles? Oh, absolutely. They even have cool stuff like this. I don't know what you'd call that. It's like a rock hawk. It looks like crystals or something. Or like jagged rocks. And this thing, yeah, man. Like some really interesting styles. I think that they've got more than most where this is concerned. and I dig it. Very cool. Yeah, very cool. I laugh because it's like you can't really tell if the character's turning when they have the afro on because it's so perfectly round. But yeah, that's like they definitely have someone on the team that knows their hair, you know? I imagine when they make games like this, they tend to like look at what the other games have that are similar to this, and they not so much copy, but they take inspiration from it. That's the right way to do it, you know? You have to look at the other people in the space. This is a cool style. It's very nice. But yeah, overall, like, this is, like, it's phenomenal. There's just a lot to choose from here. I'm going to take the Rockhawk. I like this. It's like a mohawk, but, like, jagged. And you can do facial hair, if you so desire. And as you've seen already, you can change the color next up. The beards and stuff look good. Yeah. I mean, they've got everything that you could want. They got big beards, they got small beards, they got, like, bushy, unkempt beards, which are kind of cool. They got the chops, you know, the goatee. Kind of nice. Yeah. I mean, I think the beards look good. And then finally we have the hair color over here. Nice bright colors. Good selection. It would have been a real bummer if they gave us such cool skin tones and then they didn't give us cool hair colors to go with it. And like, I mean, it's bright. There's no holding back on the colors here. They just give you some super bright stuff and it just works. I like it. I like it. It's exciting, you know? Very exciting. I'd take something like, make it look like a lightning bolt, you know? There you go. Check it out. Then you get to pick your shirt color and your shoe color. Interestingly enough, with these, they give you a choice. They give you full RGB control. I find it a little weird that they give it to you here, but not for the other ones. So they want to curate basically the character itself, but when it comes to the shirt, to the options on the clothing, you can just pick anything you want, right? You can go anywhere, you can do anything. All the colors under the rainbow are here, but the suggested colors also do look good. This stuff, I will say, is slightly less important because you will very soon be putting armor and stuff on, and like you're gonna lose it soon enough. Right, as in you're not going to be looking at this for very long. However, it is nice to have all the options available. It is nice to customize your character, but those are the options available. And then again, you can do full RGB. And that brings us to the end. Now we can randomize and have a look at what's available with this system. Personally, yeah, I dig this. I mean, I made a nice character. I like this guy. He looks cool. I would probably actually put some facial hair on as well, but I would most likely have wanted, and this is one sort of sticking point where I feel like it could be good to... you know, is I would have liked to have changed the color of the hair and the beard separately, you know? I'd like the bright hair and the dark beard, but either way, that's not a really big deal. Let's randomize. Let's see what's up. Ah, hey, that's me. There we go. So you will notice immediately here, you've got some characters that look slightly more feminine, you've got characters that look slightly more masculine, and I want to say one thing about this. I am super impressed by the way they've done randomization. When you randomize, there's only a small chance that it puts the facial hair on, which is amazing. Because oftentimes when they make these randomization systems, and like this is massive kudos to these guys for realizing that that's a stupid thing to do. Oftentimes when they make this, then it's like you have basically a 90% chance to have a beard and only a 10% chance to not have a beard, and it completely ruins the randomization because then you've always got bearded characters. 1 in 10 is not bearded, and so that means 1 in 10 technically could be a female. It's ridiculous. So they've done well with this and I like it. And I mean, obviously the variety that we see here is phenomenal. Obviously with a game like this, you are going to have a lot of customization in-game as well, with the armor you equip, the weapons, the extras, and you know, that's just another step and another layer on top of what we've been presented with here. I like it. Yeah. And so as I jump into the outro, I'm going to say that this is impressive. It's more than enough. I don't really know how much the character models improved with the graphical overall, but right now, as it stands, there is a lot to choose from here. And I like that they didn't take themselves too seriously where all of this was concerned. They gave a bunch of fun colors, exciting choices here to make the whole experience fun. Yeah, so overall I like it. There's just a lot of good stuff. I can't really find any fault with this. I think that they've done a good job and it's a nice, clean pixel art style. Yeah, thumbs up. If any of you guys are playing this, if you guys have jumped in prior, and perhaps you're jumping in now again to see the graphical update, I'd love to hear what you think. I'm very curious about this game. This is one that I'd love to play. So I most likely will at some point. Hey, you can, as always, check back here soon for more. Give this one a like and share it and do all that other good stuff. You can also find my links below, my Ko-fi page, and my Twitch channel, and all the rest. And yo, guys, enjoy making those characters. And enjoy playing Necesse. Happy that.